it's off. Pressing up, it's on. So that works really good. Down, up. So it has two levels. You got barely pressing and then full press. Same thing here. Barely pressing, nothing's happening, because this works as a dimmer when you do barely pressing, and then when you do full press, turns on the dome light. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Maybe on the next video I'll kind of explain and go over the things that's been happening around here and the projects I've been doing and stuff like that. But for now, we're gonna jump on a 7.3, and on the 7.3 we're gonna work on a SwapHelper headlight helper, and we did a few other SwapHelper modules before, and we're gonna see what we got in the box, get that done, get the headlights working with the 11 to 16 switch, and that's gonna complete pretty much most of the dash interior, and then we're gonna start tidying everything up and go from there. All right, so on my truck I'm gonna be installing the 11 to 16 headlight switch. So I got the kit that's for 11 to 16. We got the instructions, and then in the box, and I'm going to be installing this resistor because when I bought the cluster helper a few years back, I had to wire every wire in. So that was like, you know, it's not as simple as it is right now with the kits. With the kits these days, you can actually buy them. They're mostly, mostly plug and play. Whereas on this one, I had to pretty much wire every wire to my truck from the module. And I guess there were some issues with some people having flicker issues with the high beam. So yeah, I figured I might as well just, I don't know if I'm gonna have issues or not, but since mine is a wire in kit, I'm gonna go ahead and install the resistor anyway. Since everything's gonna be already opened up, might as well do that. So we got the module itself, we got the harness. So the cool thing is about this one, when you get the, let's say you're using the 11 to 16 switch, you already get the harness that's basically going to be plug and play. That's going to plug into here and here, and this end is going to plug into the module like so. And then the other wires that connect to your stock headlight switch, I'm going to be cutting them off, installing the connectors, and then plugging them in into exact spots where it says, like, you get the colors and everything. So it's like very easy to follow the instructions. Is really easy to do. We got the USB cable that's for upgrading the software. This is fog light retrofit. Oh, this is for the 99 to 2000. I don't need this. Mine's 2001. And this one I will need, since mine is a 99 to 01 wire in. This is for the 99 to 01 wire in cluster helper. So I'm gonna have to install this as well. This is the key on power that we'll need to install as well. All right, but before we start on any work, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery. Yeah, I know she's really dirty. She's been sitting for a while. And then that is actually what I found out. There's some rats that were trying to do a nest on the transmission. And what they were doing, they were actually removing that sock, pieces of a sock, and trying to make a bed on a transmission. And I'm sure there's probably some other stuff in the valley, but that's something we're gonna have to tackle later. After we're back in business, we're gonna clean it up and see what's going on. All right, so for the ambient light sensor, I ran two wires, black and red. So instead of the black and gray, I'm running black. So we got the ground, and the blue and brown, we got red. So basically that's all we need. It depends on which sensor you get. 4-wire sensor, 2-wire sensor. So you only use 2 out of the 4, and obviously 2 out of the 2. And in the instructions, will tell you which one. So these will connect to one of these. It's marked on here, so it's pretty simple to connect to exactly where it needs to. So we're not going to do those right now. We're going to concentrate on doing this stuff. So on these, I'm going to go ahead and cut them off, and then go ahead and start installing the connectors. Once I get everything done, then we're going to plug them into the module. so that's done. All these connectors are good. So I had to make sure that I'm pulling them after each time. So that's done. Now we can start plugging them into the module. And just a quick mention, I did forget to cap these two because there's two browns, two blacks, which you don't need these, so you can actually just cut these off, cap them with a shrink wrap, connect the other ones. So we're gonna connect, let's see, brown right here. And we got this red, white, red. Connect that one here. So that's good. And we'll take this black one, kind of loop it under so we got more play. And we're gonna connect it to the ground black 57. All right, let me cut these off real quick, cap them. And now we're going to connect our two ambient light connectors. So this one is going to be, let's see, black and gray. So we have a black one, and then the blue brown, but we have a red one. So obviously it's a little bit not accurate. And I'm going to go ahead and zip tie them to the main harness right here. All right, so we're going to have two more. One for the ignition, red, which comes with the box. That's going to go into the ignition, red. And one more. And the cluster illumination 99201 is gonna go right here. It already comes with the connector, so that's the one. So we got the ignition, red one, illumination, yellow. Yellow is gonna connect to the cluster helper. Let's get to that. So, and this guy is gonna go inside of here. I'm gonna shove it in here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna mount it yet because there's no frame in here. This piece does not come off. It's a one big piece. But in my case, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in here for now. And we got the USB cable for the cluster helper. Sorry, for the column helper. So we gotta update the column helper as well. And then we got the cable for the headlight helper that also connects in here. And I mean, technically, if you have enough room, you can just use one cable if you can figure out a way to connect them all. harness that goes to the headlight switch. So pretty much this part, this side is done. So now we're gonna tuck that in kind of neatly in there. Alright, so we'll put that here for now. Then I'm gonna connect our actual switch, headlight switch, one to here. One to here. Tuck that in place for here. Okay, and then we're gonna put that in here like so, just for now, just so we have something in place. All right, so let's find this wire right here. So we've got a high beam blue going to high beam green. Blue is on the cluster, green is on the truck side, and then we need to connect this yellow to light blue red. So what I need to do is actually, I already got the cluster helper out, so we're gonna go ahead and unwrap this. Kind of sucks, I was trying to be so neat and so clean, but it is what it is, you know. Sometimes you gotta do a few changes. So we need to disconnect yellow from light blue red. Yellow from cluster to light blue. Okay, we got a yellow here. And it should be connected to light blue red. Okay, we got a light blue red. Okay, so there you go. Alright, so we got the yellow and it's connected to the light blue red. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cap this. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull out the yellow completely. That way it's gonna be on the outside of the wrapped harness. Okay, there. So that way I can tidy everything up, wrap the whole harness nice and neat, and then we'll run the yellow on top of the harness, and then we'll connect it to the other one that's right here on the bottom. So I'm gonna try not to burn my finger. I'm gonna do the top first, work my way down, give it a little bit of a lip on top. Okay, see if we can kind of help it stick together. Okay, there we go. Now the lip is nice and closed, sealed, and we're good to go. All right, so now we can go ahead and wrap all this up. need to use this red ignition circuit 640, tap into the fuse box number 19 right there. So let's see, we got one with the space, two with the space, and it's the one next to it, 19. So we got on top here, we got one with the space, two with the space, and is this 10 right here. That's the one we have to pull out. All right, and so we're gonna add this guy with the 2 amp jumper, and then we're gonna put the 10, and we're gonna put the 10 right here on the bottom next to it. So it's like a add-on fuse. There we go. So now we got 10 and a 2. Let's make this nice and beautiful, nice and secure, tucked in, ready to go. All right, guys, and before you go ahead and connect the battery, you want to make sure, you want to double check, triple check, make sure all the connections are in the proper locations, which I did. Make sure that everything is properly connected exactly where it should be, and that the jumper fuse is in the correct spot depending on your ear. And I connected the yellow wire as well that I had to jump from the cluster helper for the 99201 truck. And let's see, this is for 99-2000. So depending on your year, you got to make sure you get the proper kit for your switch, and also follow the instructions for your year as well. And also I installed the resistor as well, since I was already there in the area. I might need it, might not, but I figured might as well if I think I might need it, because since I did the wire in instead of the plug-in kit for the 99-01, I figured might as well just install it, have that in there, and then if there is any issues, that's gonna fix the flickering issues. All right, guys, so now that everything's connected, I double checked everything, make sure everything's good, all the wires and everything is going where it should be. Now let's go ahead and connect the batteries and turn on the key and see what happens. I'm gonna update the column helper, because I never actually updated the column helper ever since I installed it. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I got the cable right here. I'm gonna plug that into the laptop. We're gonna update that. The headlight helper does, I don't think it has any software updates, any flash updates on the side. We'll check that out in a bit. And then after I do the column helper, I'm gonna do the cluster helper, and that's gonna work better with the headlight switch. Go to the website, download the file, then extract it. And what are we doing? We're doing the column helper. Okay, open that, set that up, click yes, extract, blah blah blah, next, accept all, next, and should be finish. Okay, so now that's good, ready to go. And then I already dropped the shortcut here on the desktop, and I also already downloaded the flash file also from the SwapHelper.com. So I got the flash file ready here. Let's do the cluster helper. Same thing, run setup, yes, extract, next, accept all, next again, finish. So now that's ready to go, and I also already have the flash here as well. So we're gonna create shortcut, drag it here. Actually, I should have just created it on desktop, but anyways, it's okay. And we got one more, which is the headlight helper. send to desktop, create shortcut. Okay, we're gonna put it right here. All right, so let's close that up. Let's see, we're gonna do the column helper first. Let's open that up. And then we're gonna get our column helper, green light on the column helper. We're gonna plug that in. Also, you gotta turn the key on. So the key is on. Plug in USB. There we go. All right. And now on here, you gotta select, I guess, port 3. Connect. And for some reason, it's not connecting. Let's see. Don't know why. Column helper. Oh, here we go. I don't know, for some reason it didn't give me. You want to go on the highest COM. So in my case, I have 3 and 5. So I want to go on 5, which is the one that's connected now, I guess. I don't know why it didn't give me that option from this. When I clicked on a shortcut, let me try it again. So open another one. Okay, now it gives me that. I don't know why, but now it gives me the option to go to a different port. Okay, so now connected. Everything's good. So this one has the 8 to 10 mode, which is the steering column that we have, 8 to 10. We don't have the 11 to 16. Then we're gonna select the file. Select file right here, flash file, column helper, open. And then we got send file, then it's gonna update everything. And now we got the red light behind here, updating. And it's done. All right, so that was a quick little update. Back to green light. All right, so that one is done. Anyways, now let's unplug. So the column helper is done. Now we're gonna do, let's do the cluster helper now. So now we got the wire for the cluster helper that connects to here. Let's plug that in. Okay, now cluster helper time. Open up, port. Okay, the highest one we have is 4. Connect. Okay, connect it. Select file. Flash, latest one. I downloaded the latest one. Then we got send file, and now it's doing its thing. Okay, updating. Cluster turned off for now. It's gonna do some stuff. Okay. I think it's done. All right, and that's done. So now we are on the current version, which is the latest one. Let's plug in the Headlight helper and see what we get. Okay. See what port we have here. Okay, we got 6. Connect. Okay, ignition on. So far, everything's good. You see in the dimmer, I'm pressing up and holding. It's getting brighter, brighter, brighter. And we're pressing down, dimmer, dimmer, dimmer. Okay, so pressing down, it's off. Pressing up, it's on. So that works really good. Down, up. So it has 2 levels. You got barely pressing and then full press. Same thing here. Barely pressing, nothing's happening, because this works as a dimmer. When you do barely pressing and then we do full press, turns on the dome light. All right, guys, so all of that is complete. We got all the updates. We got everything ready to go. Everything's working, good to go. So yeah, the install is pretty basic. You want to follow the instructions to your year of the truck, and you want to make sure when you get the switch, whatever year you got to get the kit to match the switch. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it will help you out with the kit to get that installed as well for you on your truck. And next thing I gotta do is gotta fix the leak. That's the fuel bowl leak on the inside that's leaking in the valley as well, because I don't drive the truck that much, so the O-rings get dried out. So guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you for coming, and we'll see you in the next one.